I'm just picturing the poor environment team.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Because no one's looking at the environment.
No one's looking
Look at the environment. Look at the environment.
Hey, what's up you guys? This is Rob from The Gay Guy Plays, and today on #confirmed, we're digging into Devstream 124 to talk about all of the new releases that are coming up in March. And apparently there are a whole lot of them. So without ado, let's go ahead and jump on in. So we're actually going to start things out with something that's a little bit of old news, which is Nightwave. So for those of you guys who are not keeping on top of things, Nightwave is the new alert system that has just been launched. So they wanted to go ahead and kind of delve a little bit deeper into that to clear up any questions that you've got. So Nightwave is going to last for about 10 weeks, and they will occasionally drop more lore to kind of expand on the story, but do keep in mind that they are not going to be doing this every single week. For those of you guys who are a little bit concerned out there, because there is the wolf that spawns within the Wolf of Saturn 6 storyline, and he actually drops parts for a hammer, and everybody's like, well, where is he? We are not seeing enough of him. Don't worry, you guys will see more of him as his spawn rate will increase along with the Wolf of Saturn 6 convicts. So as the story goes on, we're going to end up seeing more of them in game. Now, for those of you guys who are wondering exactly how many of these alerts we're going to need in order to kind of clear out all of the rewards that are currently available, you'll only have to do about 60% of what you see on the screen in order to get up to the very, very last reward in the system. At least that's what Steve says. So don't worry if you're kind of scared that you're not going to be able to get your hands on the Umbral Forma or the Umbral Armor. As long as you're doing 60% of what's on the page, you will be able to attain all of that. Now, do keep in mind that if you do manage to max it out, and you probably will from what they're saying, is that there is a prestige system that occurs after you've reached the top tier. And after the top tier, you'll be able to earn more wolf creds, and that's really going to be the only reward that is available after that. So if you're looking to grab a whole bunch of things from alerts, maybe you want to stock up on Nitane or get yourself a whole bunch of Orokin reactors or catalysts, that is going to be your way to go. So make sure you stay on top of that. Another thing that they also wanted to note is that there are 2 challenges that are posing to be a little bit of a difficult hurdle to get over for some players, which of course is playing with friends. I told y'all that was like the elite endgame variation that they had for the weeklies, and also the ITAN socketed sculpture thing. Apparently not enough of them drop in a week, or you can't get as many of them as you possibly need to in order to achieve that. So they're looking into tweaking the numbers for that. So if you guys are concerned, don't worry, the change is going to be coming. And for those of you guys worried about the lore entry of this, don't worry, after the Wolf of Saturn 6 is done, the wolf will end up being retired and he'll go off and do his own thing, while the lore will actually be transferred into your codex. So that is going to be very exciting to see. I just hope that they come out with like a little mini podcast version of the storyline so that we get to hear all of these things like in one spot, a la like Welcome to Night Vale. Definitely want to see that. So let's go ahead and move on into, I guess you'll call it some quick and dirty housekeeping. First off, they went ahead and showed off the Nyx Deluxe High Poly. So this is going to be the model. They didn't show it actually in game, but this is just kind of like the model that they have rendered, and it is looking really fucking good. I hate to say it, but it's gonna put Nyx Prime to shame. Standard Nyx is gonna look like old boring toast next to this, because she looks really good, and it kind of get like a little bit of like a woodland goddess kind of like horned ram kind of thing going on. I don't know, I'm really into it, and especially it gives me a vibe of like the Magicians. I don't know if you guys are watching that show, but whenever they're in that like mystical world that they're in, really dope. It kind of gives me that vibe, so into that for sure. They also went ahead and showed off the Limbo Deluxe skin, which they actually showed in game. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a little bit torn on this one. I like the model when it's static, but I'm not sure if I like it as much when it's moving, because y'all know how I don't like the floppiness. I don't like things floppy. I like things firm, and all of like the little doodly bops that they got on him are kind of like flowing weirdly. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check it out a little bit closer into game. I always want to give things a shot, you know how that goes, but what they actually wanted to go ahead and show us, specifically this time around, and I'll actually toss an image up on the screen, is a close-up of the weapon that is actually going to be coming along with him, or the weapon skin that's going to be coming with him. As you guys know, this is going to be for thrown weapons, and these are going to be like magical, mystical cards that he throws out a la Gambit style, and they look really, really freaking dope. There's also going to be a Sugatra that comes out along with it too, so I'm excited for that. I think I'm more excited for the card skin than I am actually for the skin itself, but again, we'll have to give it a chance to see how it plays out in game. Now, speaking of cosmetics, we're still gonna roll with that. We've got the 2019 Teno Con Armor that they actually went ahead and showed off. This is gonna be available for anybody who picks up Teno Con tickets, as well as in the digital pack. It's interesting, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It's not bad. Again, it's one of those things that I have to see in game and kind of get my hands on and customize myself, because y'all know they like to do random on the screen sometimes, and it hurts my soul, and I was like, I don't get to see the actual glory of it. But interestingly enough, the Teno Con 2019 pack that they're going to be selling digitally is actually going to have an emote in it. That's going to be their first time ever doing that, and it actually like makes them do little hand gestures and stuff, and then boom, it throws up this floating glyph of Teno Con. So I'm really, really excited to see how that plays out in game. Plus, they did say that they were going to introduce similar emotes in kind of like the, what is it called? That new tier that they're talking about, the new reward tier where they're showing off all of the cool like electric steps and like grassy steps and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about. So moving along from that, another thing that they went ahead and showed off was a new UI screen that goes ahead and shows off Warframe abilities. Now, this is something that they kind of showed quickly on the screen. You'll see like a little movie when they go ahead and hover over all of the abilities to kind of give players a little bit more insight as to what the abilities do themselves. So if you're a little bit newer and you're like, I don't know what you're telling me, they're gonna have some visuals up there on the screen for you. They also went ahead and clarified that this is gonna be a good way for them to get a little bit more in-depth to the statistics that they show on the screen. What I'm actually going to do down in the description box below is I'm going to link to Pablo's tweet, because he had this big long tweet thread that actually went ahead and went into detail all of the different plans for this new UI installation. That's a little bit too long for me to get into over here, but everything that he's saying, I'm kind of in for. You know, Pablo, our Lord and Savior, when you gonna save us from Roomba Wing, We need that vacuum as an option. Don't force it on us. And the last little thing that I wanted to go ahead and touch on is also a UI project that they've got, and it's a Lotus themed UI, and this one actually looks very, very good. They're planning on releasing it around Mother's Day. I don't know if they're gonna make it like a Mother's Day launch or anything, but it does look really quite nice. I want to see how other colors interplay with it, because as you guys know, UI themes are kind of like the design of the UI, and then there's like a color theme that kind of like goes along with it. So I'm wondering how this is gonna look like with the Nidus theme or the Fortuna theme, because it could look really, really dope. And the only thing I'm gonna say is, I know Lotus is kind of like, you know, the benchmark, but when is Nora gonna get her own UI theme? Because I would like to see like a microphone kind of radio static one. That would be super duper dope. Now, moving along, we go into some of the meatier stuff here. We have the PoE Remaster. That's right, the Plains of Eidolon isn't quite done yet, you guys. And I do have to say, one of the things about the Plains of Eidolon Remaster, it's kind of fucking really gorgeous. Now, is it endgame? No. Is it content? No. But is it beautiful? Yes. So I can definitely remark on the fact that it is pretty as fuck. There is no denying that whatsoever. They did go ahead and show us a new enemy that we're going to be fighting out in the plains called the Thumper, and apparently he's going to have a unique way to take it down. So a part of me is like, all right, let's see where this goes. Is this supposed to be like a boss creature, or is it one of those things where we target the right spot and then it's dead and then we move on with our lives? I don't know. They also said there were going to be new rewards that were going to be added in and new reasons for us to go and join them, but they did not give us any previews on that. So part of me is a little bit like, you know, put your money where your mouth is. If you say that something's coming up and you're gonna give us a little sneak peek into what rewards could be, listen, I want to know what I'm getting into. Moving along, one of the things that they went ahead and added in is very similar to what we have in Fortuna, where you can go ahead and pick up bounties from areas. They actually are going to have little encampments where you get to call, oh my god, I was going to say Anko, but it's not, it's Konzu, to go ahead and get more bounties, which I think is really cute, because if you picture it in your head, I'm just picturing Konzu on like an old style cell phone, picking up, hello, I'm out to lunch, and I'm like, okay. This is gonna be cute. So that's definitely an interesting thing. The other thing that they went ahead and showed off is the Wisp like animations. So this is a thing that they went ahead and added in, and it was very distracting. All I'm gonna say is, number one, the idle animation has Wisp doing some sort of weird floating gymnastics cartwheel thing, and I'm like, holy shit, okay, I'm gonna be putting this on some people, let's just say that. And then the Wisp sprinting animation, I can't describe it, it's just gonna be up on the screen, and I'm gonna let you guys decide what it could potentially look like. I'm just saying POV is very risque, but you know what? Warframe's done it before. Let me just tell you, I'm putting this on Rhino, I'm putting this on Excalibur. All the boys getting this treatment. Oh, and Loki's juicy booty in that Knave skin. We gonna see that. Anyway, so that is it for the PoE remaster. I'm just, to be honest with you, well, we'll see how this goes. I'm not super duper excited about it, but the movement on that new enemy is absolutely hilarious. So if anything, I'm gonna be out in the plains just for a little bit of fun to play around with our new Thumper. Moving along to what I think is actually the star of the show, which I think is very, very surprising, because I probably wouldn't have said that a little bit ago, but this is really what I find to be interesting, which is the Jupiter Remaster. That's right, the Gas City is getting a new look, but it's also getting a whole bunch of new content. So straight out of the gate, we were talking about Amalgam, like just Amalgam in general in the last Devstream, and what they actually showed off was the Amalgam mods. So a lot of these mods are actually takes on mods that we already have, with a little bit of a splash of something else to sacrifice the efficacy of the original mod. So taking that into account, we'll take a look at Serrated Rush. So this is a take on Serration. As you guys know, Serration provides 165% base damage. Well, Serrated Rush is a little bit different. It only provides 155% damage, so that's a 10% hit, but it also provides 15% sprint speed. I mean, personally, I'm not going to give up standard Serration for sprint speed, but you know what? To each their own. They also showed off Shotgun Medic, which is a take on Shotgun Spaz. So Shotgun Spaz provides 90% fire rate. Shotgun Medic instead gives 85% fire rate and 45% revive speed. Y'all know I'm not reviving a single goddamn person in this game. If they don't have their arcanes on point, and if they can't take care of themselves, you gonna have to cope. Moving along, we have Tactical Diffusion, which is a take on the secondary, oh my god, Barrel Diffusion. Yeah, I still remember. Look, I can get some names occasionally. And that provides originally 120% multi-shot. Well, this one takes a 10% hit, so it's 110 multi-shot. But it also gives you plus 60% dodge speed. Do you want me to give up 10% multi-shot for dodge speed? I think that's gonna be a no for me. However, the one that I did look at, which I was like, okay, we might be able to work on this, is Swift Shatter. So this is the counterpart to Organ Shatter. Organ Shatter gives 90% critical damage. Swift Shatter, however, gives 85% critical damage, so that's only a 5% loss, but it does give 60% faster charge attacks. So with the new Melee 2.999999, because you know they don't want to commit to 3.0 yet, we are going to have like a new system for that. So I'm curious to see what the interplay is between that, and that seems like a decent trade-off. The other ones, revive speed, dodge speed, nah, you can go home with that. Moving along to another very, very interesting part is they showed off the Amalgam Enemies. So we actually have really interesting takes on Corpus soldiers that are being experimented on using sentient tech. So one of them is the Amalgam Agent, and this one actually like has a drone helmet weird thing that he's got going on. And what happens is, as he gets lower in health, he'll actually release this drone. And the other thing that he also does is he has a weird shield vampire ability, so he'll actually hunker down and he'll start draining your shield in pulses. So the one thing that they wanted to note about Amalgam Enemies is the longer it takes for you to kill them, the more difficult they're gonna get. Apparently, they're gonna kind of switch up their tactics as they go along, and one of the really interesting creatures that they went ahead and showed off was one of the Amalgam Moas. It's got like... It's fucking weird. It's like they grafted a MOA to the bottom of a sentient, and like it does this weird cartwheel thing, so like half the time it's shooting laser beams from its like sentient self, and then if you're getting too close it'll like flip over and it'll start beating you when it's got its like MOA legs on, but it'll use its like sentient hands to like knock you around. It's fucking odd, but I mean, hey, you know what? As a change of pace in combat is always welcome. They also showed another Amalgam Moa, and it's got like this weird head attachment which it plunges into the ground. I think that they called this one the ostrich one, and literally it looks like it phases out of like tangibility and it starts pumping the ground with these like little AoE explosions. Very unique, very different. I really like the looks of it. Again, we have to wait till it actually plays out. There's an Amalgam Sniper with this crazy long giraffe neck, and a whole bunch of other things that they have. One of the creepiest ones though, and they didn't show this in game, but they showed like a render of this. It's this weird flying, I can't even say that it's like a graft or anything, but it like came in and it swept up like this Corpus agent off of the ground, and it's weird like funky arms and shit. I don't know where we're gonna see that, but I'm excited to. Hopefully it's a difficult enemy. And so that's kind of it when it comes to all of the Amalgam Enemies. Hopefully it'll bring off some really interesting gameplay, because right now, you know, you can kind of breeze through Warframe and not really pay attention to too much that's going on. So the last little bit that they went ahead and showed off during the Jupiter Remaster is we finally see a glimpse of Revenant's two-handed katana in action. So this one is going to be really dope. It looks really nice. It's got a nice cleave area, but again, we probably won't see it until they're a little bit deeper into... Actually, you know what? I think that they might have said that this will be coming out pretty soon. I don't know. I'll leave a note in the comment section below, but I'm pretty sure, I don't know, because there's like parts of the VOD where they're like kind of joking around saying it's coming, and I'm like, don't get my hopes up, don't do this to me. And the last little bit after that I actually wanted to make note of, because I just reminded myself, and it's the most important bit, is that they are working on two-toned energy colors. Yes, that is right. They actually showed off this image of Nerja with this red fire at its base, and then it was like blue fiery at the tips. It was really dope. They said that it's on its way. Actually, they said that it's coming next week, but they were joking. They were saying that it's being worked on, so it's probably not something that we're going to see anytime soon, and also a cause of confusion for me. Regardless, that about does it for this episode. Let me know how you guys are liking Nightwave so far, first and foremost. Are you guys enjoying your way through it? Are you making friends? Are y'all getting on that Elite Weekly action? Are you guys enjoying all of the things that are going on with it? In addition, let me know how you guys feel about the Amalgam mods. Like, let me know what good trade-offs will be, because I don't know if I would trade off 5% fire rate for revive speed. I don't care about other people enough for that. And trading off 10% damage for sprint speed, I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below. Regardless, that about does it for me for now. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.